Okay, we're gonna let the cat out of the bag. You guys met in London.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you approached Pia. You recognized each other because of your respective Tatler covers. Okay, we want to know, where were you? Which area in London? How did it happen? We want to know all the details.
Okay, well, maybe I'll start then. So before living in New York, I lived in London. It was my home for 10 years, and I saw Pia in Covent Garden. It's an area that I'd walked through so many times in the last 10 years, an area that I know very, very well. And when I saw her, as you said, I recognized her instantly. And the funny thing is that we had crossed paths a few times before, but never really actually met each other and were formally introduced. So I saw her and I was like, listen, I get one shot. So I ran up to her. They all went from there.
What did you say? I want to know what you said.
You know, I think I just introduced myself and said, look, my name. I introduced myself and mentioned that we had mutual friends in common, because I'd been to the Philippines a couple of times in the past. We knew some people in similar circles, so it wasn't just completely out of the blue.
Great. And how do you feel that your fans, and there are thousands of them, they're all rooting for you and they're rooting for the both of you? How do you feel about that?
Well, it's very exciting. I'm very happy that the response has been so good. It just makes things so much easier. I'm so happy that everybody's so supportive, and yeah, just thank you so much. It just makes things so much easier when everybody's supportive, everybody's rooting for your relationship, and that everybody wishes you well.
Yeah, exactly. Jeremy, there were rumors swirling around on Instagram of your budding relationship. The glasses, I don't know, where you guys were in Bali, I think. Were you hesitant to make the relationship public? I know you guys are a little bit off, because I know we were speaking earlier, Pia and Jeremy. This is the first time that you're actually doing this.
Yeah.
And I know you guys are on Zoom days or doing all these things, but this is the first time you're doing this with everybody else. So are you afraid to make the relationship public?
It wasn't so much afraid, I don't think. It was more really wanting to make sure that we invested in each other and got to know each other, and really that the foundation for our whole relationship was built on the two of us really becoming close and understanding our values, the things that we cared about, the things that we wanted. And on the flip side, knowing that obviously people would be interested and people would want to know about us, we just felt it was really important that we set a good foundation before we came out and did something like this.
Fantastic. Pia, you mentioned in the Tatler interview that in Jeremy, I love this actually, this quote, that in Jeremy you met the male version of yourself. Can you elaborate on this?
Because when I met Jeremy, we really clicked right away, and we just talked nonstop, and we found so many things in common, and it's almost like love at first sight, I think, even though you won't admit that it was love at first sight. It was. And so you're right earlier, by the way, that this is kind of different for us, because usually when you do an interview as a couple, you're together physically, and then it's and then you would be in front of us, and it wouldn't be like this. So this is kind of new to me. I've never had to do an interview like this, so like I'm a little nervous actually. I don't know why.
We live in funny times, but I'm sure we'll get through this as well. Jeremy, I know you were supposed to come to Manila in March. You were actually supposed to speak in Manila House as well. When was the last time you saw each other?
Wow. So it would have been, February, right, baby?
Yeah, New York.
Ooh, that's what you call each other.
Well, I call him my love, and then he calls me baby and other things.
Other thing. Oh, this is very important for the Filipinos. Pinoys, right? We call ourselves Pinoys. Okay, what Tagalog word do you know? The most important one.
Mahal kita. All the important things.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, and I also taught him Kilig. He also know what Kilig means.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people who comment on our page now, they say Kilig a lot. So I told him, you know what Kilig means, right? Like, because I do say it to him, like, I feel so kilig, or you make me so kilig. So he knows what it means now. So kilig, mahal kita, maganda. What else, babe? Like, I mean, those are the important ones.
The important ones, right? Those are the ones that we try and say to each other.
I've known you guys, and I'm Kilig as well right now, because see you guys.
I'm kilig too, and I'm nervous. Oh my god.
Okay, Pia, has a long distance and the pandemic since it's interrupted your relationship? How do you feel you can make it stronger? How do you manage all this?
I think it's really important to. You mean like for a relationship, or just being in?
If you're long distance and plus the pandemic, you can't see each other. How do you make this relationship strong?
I think
given the parameters.
I think constant communication is so important. We talk to each other every day. Every day. Well, like walang mintes. Every day we talk to each other. Sometimes we talk twice a day, and we'll talk for hours if he didn't have to go to a meeting or to go to work, which he still does, by the way, up to now, every day. We would be talking for hours, and that's just how we bond. We just talk about everything. And I think that's so important, especially for couples that are long distance relationship now. Talk to each other every day, check up on each other, and talk about the real things too. Don't just like pretend that, oh no, I'm good, baby, like nothing's wrong, I'm fine. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic and so many things going on in the world right now. So it's really important to be honest and to catch up, to check on each other, be really honest. Yeah.
Jeremy, you met in London, Hong Kong, Indonesia, then New York in a span of a year, but it was in Hong Kong on a special day that Jeremy, you mentioned in the article as well, that you wanted to be, this was the moment you wanted to be with Pia. Take us to that situation and what made it very special.
I think just building on what Pia said, we've really invested heavily in communicating with each other right since the very, very beginning, and just talking about our feelings, talking about what we're looking for in life. And, you know, I see it as a huge compliment that she thinks that I'm a male version of her, because I see how driven and smart and, you know, intelligent she is, and how much I learn from her, and hopefully she learns from me. So I think with Hong Kong, what was so special about that was we just walked around Hong Kong, just talking. Really, like, there was no fancy dinners, there was no, you know, shows or anything really that you might do when you're early dating life. We were just walking around and talking. And I think we touched on it in the article, but I remember sitting down in a little park, and we had all these school kids running around us and making noise, and, you know, birds in the trees, and just being in the middle of nature, in the middle of Hong Kong. And just, you know, looking at each other and talking about the things that we wanted, and realized that they were very similar, you know, realized we had shared values, realized that we both, you know, we both wanted the same thing. And then you know, it was love at first sight. I was like, right, I'm done.
Pia, I think this should be a movie, don't you think? You should guys be in a movie together.
Right? Like, yeah, I mean, the way we met and the way it all happened. And Jeremy was right. There were moments before that we almost met. There was one event while I was Miss Universe living in New York. There was an event by Philippine Tourism. I was there as a guest, and then, oh no, they were there earlier, and then they were leaving, and then somebody said, no, wait, because Miss Universe is coming, but they left anyway, so we didn't that night. But everything happens for a reason, right? And I guess we were meant to meet now, and at this point in our lives where we're so much more, I guess, mature and more ready for like a mature, serious relationship. So, and we both want the same things. Like Jeremy said, he is the male version of me. I really feel like I used to tell myself before, I don't think I'll ever I used to tell myself this before, honestly, I don't think I'll ever meet a guy who is as driven and as busy as me. And then that would be a problem, because then, you know, you get a lot of misunderstanding in relationship when that happens. And so I wasn't really looking for anyone when I met him, but it happened, and I'm so happy. We're so in love.
You know, I'm so happy for the both of you. I'm really like one of your fans. I'm rooting for you as well. I think a lot of people also want to know. I got this question. This is the cheekiest question: is where and when was the first kiss?
It was Hong Kong. It was Hong Kong.
Yeah.
It was Hong Kong.
Wow. How was it like?
Not me. So yeah, it was in Hong Kong. Babe, you should tell the story. Be a
Okay. So, we'd had the day just walking around and spending time together, and we were staying in different places but relatively close to each other, and it was just capping off the day as we went home and we were going back to our respective hotels, and I gave her a kiss goodnight, and then we left things, and then it ended up ending a perfect day, knowing that the next day we were going to see each other again. And that sort of little, you know what it's like, that little awkward bit at the beginning.
Yeah.
Should you, shouldn't you, is this the right moment? And everything I think with Hong Kong just fell into place because we spent so much time talking to each other and trying to understand each other and realizing how much respect we had for each other and that we were on the same page. And yeah, just the night ended in the perfect way. Went back to each other's hotels and knew we were seeing each other in the morning. So yeah, that's how it happened.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. It's a Kilig moment. Can you say Kilig, Jeremy?
It was a Kilig moment for sure.